Usually I'd film a video on my regular camera, but today I'm settling for photo booth because I don't really have time to film on my camera, but I really want to explain what's going on, so I decided to multitask and do my makeup in my mirror while I'm talking to you. And I'm not going to be telling you how I'm doing my makeup while I do it because number one, you don't care, I'm not a professional, and number two, I don't have the time for it. I'm just going to tell you the story of how this is all happening and why I'm doing my makeup right now at like 9 in the morning. So this past weekend, keep in mind, what day is it today? I think it's May 9th. It's May 9th, 2017. This past weekend is a Tuesday. This past weekend, my two local radio stations, B96 and 103.5 Kiss FM, were throwing radio contests because basically Liam Payne from One Direction was coming to their studios to like have like these private parties and like meet and greets and give fans like a first sneak peek listen of his new single. And they were having these radio contests all week. There's ones where you could actually enter online, like through a Facebook or Google account or whatever. But then there was ones where you could call in. So starting, I believe, I think it was like Saturday or something, maybe Friday. B96 was, no, it was Saturday. B96 was having like every hour almost. They were having times to call in to win these Liam Payne meet and greet passes. And on Friday, Harry Styles' concert tickets had gone on sale, and I had my pre-sale code and everything, and I didn't get them because they literally sold out in like seconds. And I was like really distraught. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to win this contest. I really need this win. Like, I was really depressed. So on Saturday, I started calling like every hour. So the B96 contest on Saturday, May 6th, the hours to call in were 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. What I learned on Saturday was that basically those are like really like free hours. Like they're really loosey-goosey with the way that they post their hours on their contests and stuff like that. So really, like when it says like 11 a or 1 p.m., it wasn't exactly 1 p.m. They say it would be. What they mean is that it's within that hour. And then they would tweet out on their Twitter account what the exact time was. So sometimes it would be like 1:03 or like 2:20 and stuff like that. And like you would be like sitting there thinking that it's 1 or 2 and you'd be wrong. And that kind of sucks. But after I learned that, I followed their Twitter account and I turned on all the notifications so that I would get them to my phone and I would be able to see it beforehand. And I think the first day I literally like sat there and like listened to the radio as much as I could and just called as much as I could. My mom is like literally such a saint and she was helping me out and stuff like that. She was great. Keep in mind, Saturday we were celebrating my mom's birthday with the family, and we went out to dinner and all that stuff. And like even then, I was calling and calling, and my mom was helping me most of the time. But it was great. Every single hour, I would like call 100 times. I actually kept a log of it, and oh my god, I literally look so stupid. So I kept a log on my phone of how many times I called. So on May 6th at 11 a.m., I called 114 times. On May 6th at 12 p.m., I called 110 times. And on May 6th at 1 p.m., I called 100 times. On May 6th, 3:40 p.m., I called 118 times. On May 6th, 5:20 p.m., I called 100 times. On May 6th, 7 p.m., I called 82 times. And that was the last time to call. And then I counted all those up. And just on my phone, I had called 624 times. Keep in mind that my best friend Brian and my mom are calling as well. And they were calling for me/us. So I really, 624 is not even all of it, because I had other people on my side. Anyway, that was really stressful. I remember the whole entire day, it was just the busy line all the time. And then I think it was the 7 p.m. when the last time of the day, I was laying on my sister's couch and I was calling over and over. alone. I think my mom was actually helping maybe. And my phone, instead of doing the busy line, it actually started ringing. And I was laying on the couch and I literally jumped off the couch. I never gotten off the couch so fast in my life before. It was so funny. And it rang for like a good minute and then they hung up. And that was the first time I experienced that ringing. And like, even though I didn't win and I didn't really necessarily know if it meant anything, it kind of gave me some hope. Like I was like, oh my god, like all I was getting was like the busy signal before, but like now it's starting to ring, like I'm getting closer, which doesn't really make any sense. But that's what kind of gave me hope and kept me going a little bit. And so the next day was Sunday. Keep in mind that this week I had like finals. So on Sunday, May 7th, the call times were 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. Like I said before, they weren't exactly those times the whole entire weekend. The more I listened to the radio and the more I called, the more I kind of caught on to the different DJs who come on at different times. That's just something to keep in mind for when I get a little further into Sunday. So Sunday morning, I guess, it was started at 11 p.m. Me and my mom had a bridal shower to go to for a really good friend. And I was invited and I was going to go, but I was like, listen, as much as I am super excited for this bridal shower, like I can't not call. And my mom's like, okay, like if you're gonna call, you need to step out. And so at 12 a.m., 12 p.m., we were in the middle of the bridal shower, and I walked out, and they hadn't tweeted out a specific time for the 12 p.m. hour. And so I thought that it started exactly at 12 p.m. I go out to the car and actually turn it on, try to turn on the radio. Turns out that the bridal shower we at, like the location, they did not have the B96 radio there because we were kind of like an hour out. And I was like super frustrated and I just kept calling over and over. But where we were, like the actual location of the bridal shower itself, like the building, it had a really horrible service around it. And so half of my calls were like failing. At this day, my best friend David, who is not a One Direction fan, but we've just been friends for years and he knows how much I love them, he offered to help call as well, which was so nice of him. He's actually won a radio contest before at a smaller radio station, and so he kind of gave me a little faith. Then when I was in the middle of calling at 12 p.m., they tweeted out like, hey, 12:30, get ready, we're going to be doing the Liam Payne passes. And I was like, seriously? So I went back inside and like literally sat in there for like 20 minutes and then left again. This time I didn't go in the car because I just didn't think it was worth it. Wish I had actually, because it was a little chilly outside. Like it was super nice. I was like wearing something like super nice, but then when I stood out there for like 20 minutes, it was not nice anymore. I was like, wow, this sucks. Anyway, so I'm calling. He's calling from like an hour away. Blah blah blah. We're both calling over and over. Half of my calls are failing, but twice my phone like actually rang. His rang at one point too, and I'm not super religious. I grew up Catholic, but I was literally standing there in the parking lot, and I was like, it was ringing, and I literally just started for real praying. And I was like, listen, God, I know that we don't really talk that much anymore. It's been a while since I've prayed to you, but like I've loved this band for 6 years, and I just really need this win. I really need it. Like it's my dream. Like I would literally, oh my God, I just can't. And so I prayed, and I didn't win, but that's okay. I called for like 20 minutes, and that was probably the lowest amount of times I called just because the service was so bad. And like when the call would fail, it would like ring for a minute and then decided it wanted to fail. So it wasted a lot of my time, you know? So then we went home, or we left, and it was 2 p.m. and the bridal shower ended at 2 p.m. and that was the next call time. So 2 p.m. rolls around. Me and my mom get in the car to leave, and we both start calling. We're pulling into the McDonald's drive-thru to get some drinks and stuff like that for the ride or whatever. And like literally, we're like in the middle of like a shopping mall where there's like tons of telephone wires, and like half of our calls are failing, and I'm getting so angry. So we're doing that for a while. A girl who had won, who I found on Twitter, gave me some advice and told me to keep on calling until the radio actually announces a winner. And so I just kept calling and calling. We got on the highway. I'm calling. My friend David's calling. My friend Brian's calling. Brian's my best friend, who's also a One Direction fan. We're calling and calling, and then finally I just decided to give up because something that I've also learned this weekend is that sometimes they literally just like don't announce the winners, or like it takes them at least 30 minutes to actually say that someone won. And it's like calling for 30 minutes is not ideal, especially when you know that caller number 12 was the winner, by the way. I think it was caller number 12 for B96 at least. So then we get home, and I see that 103.5 has tweeted that they're also giving away meet and greet passes for Liam. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try for both this time, because why not, double the chance of winning. The DJ who's on, I don't know if this is actually his name, but this is his name on Twitter. It's Cougar Bait. He is a DJ, and he tweeted that the exact time they're going to be doing calls is 4:20. And keep in mind, the B96 one says 4 p.m. on their website, and we know it's not exactly 4 p.m. because they lie. So I'm getting ready for the 103.5 one, or actually I'm getting ready for the B96 one because I think that it's going to come first, but then they finally tweeted out the official time that they're going to be doing calls. Or they didn't tweet it out, actually. I was listening to the radio and they said it. It was exactly 4 p.m. and I was calling. And then the DJ comes on the radio and she was like, we're going to have these tickets in 20 minutes. And I'm like, 20 minutes? That's literally the exact time that 103.5 is giving out theirs. I'm like, I can't call both of them at the same time. My mom's like, you know what? You call 103.5. I'll call B96. And I was like, you're a saint, mother. I love you so much. So 4:20 rolls around. I am calling 103.5. My mom's calling B96. My mom's getting the ringing tones. I'm getting the ringing tones. My phone's ringing. And I have it held on. And all of a sudden, someone answers the phone. And literally, I wish I could tell you exactly how I felt in that moment. My heart started racing, and you can ask my friend, or my mom at least, because she was the one who was there to witness it. My hands were just shaking like this. It was the funniest thing in the world. My hands were just fucking shaking so bad. They go, hello? And I said, hi. And they go, are you calling about the Liam Payne meet and greet passes? And I was like, yes, oh my god, did I win? And there was this pause. Let me tell you, my whole life flashed before my eyes in that moment. And the DJ goes, Cougar Bait, the one I was telling you about, he goes, no, I'm sorry you didn't win, but if you follow the Twitter account, you can see when the next time is to call to win. My heart dropped. Literally, my heart just dropped. I said to him, are you serious? I've been calling all weekend, and, I didn't win? He was like, no, I'm sorry. And I was like, you're literally breaking my heart right now. I said that to him, and he was like, please don't die. Please don't die. And I was like, my hands are shaking. I was telling him of everything. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, can't you just give me the meet and greet passes anyway? And he goes, I can't. I'm sorry. I'll lose my job. I was like, okay. We both said goodbye to each other, and I hung up. So I don't really know how to explain this, but right after I hung up that call, my body was so overwhelmed with the emotion I was feeling. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, that by the time I hung up, I just broke out into full-on sobs. Excuse my dog snoring in the background. I just started full-on sobbing. And my dad and my mom were in the room, and I told them, I was like, I'm not sad. That's the thing. I'm not sad because I knew there was a 99.9% chance that I wasn't going to win. This is a radio contest. Let's all be honest. If you're lying to yourself and thinking that you're actually going to win, you're stupid. I'm not sad. I knew that there was a really good chance that I wasn't going to win. I'm just so overwhelmed. Because this whole weekend has been so stressful. Calling that many times and making sure that you're listening to the radio and have your phone ready on time every time, it's hard. I know it doesn't seem that hard, but really it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I tweeted out what happened. I tagged 103.5 Kiss FM. I tagged Cougar Bait. Then I Snapchatted, I put on my Snapchat story the whole entire story of what happened at 4:20, and I was so angry. And then I sat back down. I told my dad what happened. Oh, he just got home. I remember that now. He just got home, and I told him what happened and how I was sobbing. And he said to me, he was like, you know what? There's just got to come a point where you just stop. You've been doing this all weekend, and you haven't won. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, in that moment, I kind of agreed with him. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, when am I going to stop? When am I going to throw in the towel? And for a good 2 seconds there, I was really thinking about giving up. Fate works in mysterious ways. I was thinking about giving up for 2 seconds, and then I was like, you know what? There's really, like, I think 2 more times to call. Like, I'm just gonna finish this strong, and I'll be proud of myself regardless of being so, like, loyal and being, like, so hardworking at it. Like, this is honestly the hardest I've worked for something in my life. The guy, DJ, who I was talking about, Cougar Bait, he tweeted, because I had his notifications turned on at that point, he tweeted, like, hey, if you go on my Instagram, you can see when the next time is to win. So I go find his Instagram. There's, like, no post or anything. There's nothing in his bio, and I was confused. And then I remembered that there was Instagram stories. And I went to his story, and it was him at the studio, and he said, all right, like, the next time to call is 5:20. And that was for 103.5. The last time to call for B96 was 6 p.m. So really, within the hour, I was just going to either not win or win. And that was fine with me. So 5:20 rolls around, or it's about to be 5:20. And I told my mom, and I was like, hey, can I just, like, grab your phone, and I'll go in my room so that you can watch whatever you want. Like, I've disturbed you enough this weekend. I'm just going to grab your phone. I'm going to go in my room, and I'm going to call on both phones. Like, do you mind if I use your phone to call? She was like, no, for sure. Go use my phone, whatever. All right, cool. So my phone was, like, on low battery at that point. It was, like, in, like, the 30% or something like that. And so I went into my room. I turned on 103.5 Kiss FM. I plugged my computer in, and I plugged my phone into its charger. But I made it sure that I could, like, reach it from, like, where I was, obviously, like, so that I wasn't, like, tugging on my phone. And 5:20 hits, and I start dialing on both phones. The only reason I know this by heart is because someone else asked me, and I had to actually look on my phone to look into it. Basically, I'm calling on both my mom and I's phones. Mine starts ringing on the 18th call. I remember that it was the 18th because I had to tell someone that. They asked me. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll leave that one to ring. I was convinced it was just going to hang up like last time because I was so used to it. I had done it so many times at this point in the weekend. So, like, whatever. Wasn't even stressing. And I just keep dialing on my mom's phone over and over. And then someone picks up on my phone. And they go, hello? And I said, hi, I'm calling. I've never been this call in my life. I was like, hi, I'm calling about the Liam meet and greet passes. I don't know why I was being so, like, sophisticated and professional. Like, usually I'm a mess. So I was like, hi, I'm calling about the Liam Payne meet and greet passes. And they go, what's your name? That was the first time during that phone call that I had an inkling that something weird was going on. Because the other time they picked up on me, they didn't ask my name. And, like, why would they need to, right? You know, because I didn't win. So he asked me what my name was, and I was like, I stopped for a minute, and I was like, or not a minute, like a good second. Like, this is what I was thinking in my brain. I was like, okay, like, this is weird. Just tell him your name. So I said, hi, my name is Bailey, and then my last name. And he goes, Haley? And I go, no, Bailey. So I go, no, Bailey. He goes, oh, Bailey, okay. And then he goes, how much do you love Liam Payne? That was the second time that I was like, this is weird. And I think that was when it kind of hit me that, like, okay, either they're really fucking with me this time or, like, I won. And so I said, oh my God, I love him so much. I've been a One Direction fan for 6 years. I've seen them live 3 times, and I'm so sad that One Direction isn't even together right now. And then he goes, okay. He goes, how much do you love me? I didn't know him. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I didn't know this DJ really well. Like, I didn't really listen to the radio before this weekend. I mean, of course, everyone's listened to 103.5 and, like, or, like, B96 in the Chicago area, at least. I never, like, seriously, like, listened and, like, paid attention to the DJs. And so I didn't know this guy. And I immediately started going, I love you so much. Which I thought was super funny. And then I was in the middle of, like, saying how much I loved him, and he cut me off. Like, he literally just stopped me from talking. He's like, you know what? Before you tell me how much you love me, I should probably tell you some news first. You're meeting Liam Payne on Tuesday. I jumped out of my bed. The quickest I ever have in my life. And I, blood-curdling, shrieked into the phone. I feel so bad. I shouldn't have shrieked directly into the phone, but, like, I did. And then, like, that poor guy's ears. I started shrieking, and the only thing I could think of to say was, over and over again, I said, either, are you joking? Or, like, is this a joke? Like, are you joking? I could not believe that it was real. I really thought that they were messing with me. So I started blood shrieking. I'm saying, are you kidding me? Are you joking? Over and over again. And he goes, no, I'm not joking. How much do you love me now? And I was just screaming over and over again. It was insane. I believe he asked me where I lived, and I told him the town I lived in, and then he asked me how far it was from Chicago. I was like, oh, it's like 30, 40 minutes. If I were driving, at least. And he goes, okay, I'm going to put you on hold, and you can tell someone your information so that, you can go. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, oh my God. And like, he was just laughing. He thought it was like the funniest thing in the world. And I got put on hold. And I remember running out into the family room. And my mom was there. And she heard me screaming, obviously, from the other room. Because I'm a loud screamer. She was like, did you win? And I go, yeah. And I start just sobbing. And like real sobbing. Like sobbing so bad. To the point where I'm like hyperventilating. I was going like, it was so funny. Like looking back on it, it was so funny. But I was really done in that moment. Oh my God. And then I just kept going on this whole spiel about like, oh my God, I've been a fan for 6 years. Like I've been waiting for this moment my whole entire life. I didn't get Harry tickets, but I finally won Liam. Like blah blah blah. And I was, oh my God. I was just going on this whole rampage, and my parents were just like looking at me like, you better calm down. Like, you need to stop hyperventilating. Like, please breathe. Like, they were freaking out. They were like, please stop. And, like, my mom let me do that for, like, a good few minutes. And then she was like, listen, because I was still on hold. She's like, listen, you need to get yourself together and calm down, because when she comes back on the phone, you're going to need her to give her your information, and you can't mess this up. I was like, oh, my God, you're right. So I was, like, freaking out. And then she comes back on. I had to tell her my first and last name, my date of birth, my email, my address, and then basically she told me that the event was going to be at 3:45 in the Sprite Lounge. I needed to be there by then. And she said the rest of the details would be sent to me in an email, since I have my email now. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, wait, before you go, is this like just one pass, or like is it two? And she asks this person that she's working with in the background, and she's like, it's you plus a +1. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like so excited. Because my friend Brian had been helping me call all weekend, and he literally loves One Direction. Like, he's been to all the shows, the same ones that I've been to, and like literally all we do is talk about One Direction like all the time. And so I knew I wanted to take him. I have like 2 other best friends who are really good One Direction fans, and like picking was like literally the toughest thing in my life, because I didn't want anyone to feel like I didn't want them to come with me, because honestly, if I could have taken all of them, I would have. Like, it sucks. It really does. I just had to pick one and go with it. And I said, thank you, and I hung up. And then I was like, I need to call Brian. I need to call him, blah, blah, blah. And my mom, because she knows Brian, and Brian's kind of, I'm actually not going to say anything about Brian, because I don't want to offend him when he watches this video. Not that I'm saying anything bad about him. He's just crazy. I'm crazy too. That's why we're friends. I called him, and you know what? It'd be funny if I called him right now and he could tell you the story and exactly how he was feeling.
Okay, so when you called me, it was super casual, So, like, I just thought we were hanging out, and then I, like...
Do you remember what I said to you?
What?
Do you remember what I said to you?
You were like, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday? And I was like, I don't know, nothing. And then you were like, oh, okay, do you want to hang out when I'm done with school? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then you were like, good, because we're meeting Liam. And I was like, yeah, I know. Because, like, I'm delusional, and I thought we were just gonna, like, go try to meet him at the studio or something. And then you're like, no, bitch, like, I seriously won. And I was like, but you did, like, don't fuck with me. Like, don't mess with me right now. And then I started to freak out internally, because, like, you gotta keep yourself together. And then, yeah, I was freaking out, right, Bailey?
Mm-hmm. Well, he kept saying over and over again, like, yeah, I know we're meeting Liam. And I said, no, like, we're actually meeting Liam. And he's like, no, I know. Like, he kept doing it over and over again. And he wasn't, like, it wasn't calculating in his brain.
Yeah, I was literally like, yeah, I know. like a bunch of times, and then you're like, no, your parents had to give up. They were like, Brian, this
Oh,
is for
yeah.
real.
I FaceTimed him and my parents had to, like, talk to him on the phone.
I was like, oh my god. And then, yeah, I think that's what it ended on. Just, like, your parents reassuring me, and I was, like, screaming.
And then he threw his phone on the ground. I literally watched it tumble.
Yeah.
On FaceTime.
And then I was, like, telling you, I was like, if this is a sick joke, you're done. I was like, I don't care who you are. You're dead to me if this is a joke.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Bad times. Good times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And then me and Brian both had homework to work on after that. Yeah, me and him, like, at one point, me and him were, like, texting, and, like, I had homework to do, but I was, like, refusing to work on it because I couldn't focus. And he kind of put me in line because he was like, listen, like, I gotta do my homework. I can't talk about this right now because I'm literally, like, I can't. And so, like, him going to do his homework made me go do mine. So that's what happened. And I tried to call everyone. I told my other best friend, try to call my other best friend too, who else likes One Direction. All of them were, like, at work. Anyway. Monday rolls around. I have 2 classes. One's at 9 a.m. I have a final project presentation. My stomach's in knots, and I can't tell if it's because of Liam or if it's because I'm nervous for my presentation. And so I go up, I do my presentation, whatever. The whole entire day, I'm, like, waiting for the information email, considering that it was the event was the next day. And I didn't really know any details of what was happening besides, like, where and when it was, kind of, you know? The whole time I'm waiting, I go to my second class. I'm really exhausted because I had to get up at 6 a.m. And I was just bored. Like, I didn't want to be there. And I wasn't getting my email, and I was, like, being nervous. And since that class is 4 hours long, we had a break in the middle. So during the 15-minute break, I was messaging this girl who won the B96 contest, and both of us had not gotten our emails. And I know we're from 2 different radio stations, but it's just still, they kind of operate the same way with contests. And we were both kind of stressed out. She said she emailed them and had not heard back, and then they called her while I was talking to her. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give in, and I'm going to call them. I call their business line, not their request line, the one that you call for the contests. I'm like, tell them, I literally had to go through, like, 5 different people. They kept putting me on hold and putting me with different people, and I was getting really frustrated with that. And then finally they put me on with someone. I have to tell them my name, my date of birth, or whatever. And they're like, okay, yes, like, yes. And they told me basically that it's going to be at 3:45 in the Sprite Lounge. I have to be checked in at the security desk by 3:45. My name is going to be on the guest list. It's going to say Bailey plus one guest. Both of us need to have valid forms of ID. And then they told me the address of it. I was like, all right, cool. I left that class, and when I got home, I literally ran in, got, like, a strapless bra and put it in my purse, and then I walked out because I needed to go buy my outfit because I don't have any cute clothes, which is not fun. So I was going to go alone, but then I asked Brian if he wanted to tag along. He was like, sure. So I picked him up, and I went to the store where they were guaranteed to have jeans because I didn't really have a lot of time. A lot of the stuff in my town closes at 9, and it was, like, about to be 7. And I went to a place where I knew they would have jeans my size. I got a pair of black mid-rise jeans. Me and Brian went to the store. I got jeans. He bought a shirt not for tomorrow, but just because it was on sale and he thought it was cute. We go to the mall. I think that's pretty much it. Me and Brian are leaving. We're going to go meet up with our girlfriend who lives up in Chicago for some lunch and to hang out a little bit. And then we're going to head to the studio. So I will see you then. Bye.